When Mike Massey picks up a pool cue, the balls drop and people smile. Sometimes in his exhibitions of pool and magic, like this home movie of Mike's trip to Saudi Arabia, the people shout and cheer. But a few years ago, you wouldn't have heard much shouting or seen much smiling around this table, because chances are Mike would have been hustling these people for money.
You all know I used to be a pool hustler, right?
It all started early for Mike. In his hometown of Loudon, Tennessee, he was playing poker when he was 6, gambling when he was 8, and hustling pool when he was 12. By the time Mike was in the 8th grade, he quit school to travel and gamble full time.
So I get ready to shoot, and the guy I'm playing, he grabs a rack and throws the rack over the ball like that. Said, no shooty, you know. So you know what I done? I called the 8 ball in the corner, and shot it anyway.
During a night, he could win thousands of dollars.
But money wasn't what I was after that much. You know, like I just wanted enough to survive on. I didn't have any goals for money.
What were you after?
Well, I like for people to say, well, he's good.
And he was good.
The 9 ball in the side pocket.
Minnesota Fats called him the best trick shot artist he'd ever seen. It all seemed glamorous at first, but it took its toll on him.
The 9 ball in the corner pocket, right?
He started staying awake for days.
You know, after I'd been up 24, 25 hours or so, you know, I'd have to take something. So I started taking Benzedrine and, or, you know, diet pills to keep me awake. And started smoking a little grass and kept drinking more. I drank all my life. The first time I was drunk, I was 3.
He experimented with astral projection until he began to lose control of himself.
First time I left my body, it was kind of an accident. I tried it a lot and I couldn't do it. So finally, I just lay down, went in a trance, and just trying to relax and go to sleep. But it's like I went off, you know, and when I come back, I opened my eyes, and it's like I was out just looking right dead into my face, you know, and I almost had a heart attack. I mean, it's weird. It's like then all of a sudden I turned my head and I could see the pillar. It's like I just rushed back in or something, you know.
Night after night, I play this game, and I know the odds so well. I could lose my part of heaven, hanging round in hell. Damn the man with a mind I can't control. Shame on me.
Billy Jackson used to travel with Mike and provided him with money to gamble with.
8, 9 years ago, Mike got into drugs, and he just fell apart. He started looking like a skeleton, and he lost all of his confidence in his game and in himself, and his game fell completely apart.
The torment landed Mike in a mental hospital in Denver, Colorado. Larry Hedrick is writing a book about Mike.
Well, the most dramatic part of Mike's story is the fact that he was a habitual gambler, an alcoholic, a drug addict, a sex fanatic, and experienced what I would refer to as situational insanity.
You better let somebody love you. Let somebody love you.
When he got out of the hospital, Mike returned to Tennessee and met Carol Henry.
He's about close to 80 pounds lighter than what he is now. I had real long hair, long beard. Nothing any daddy would want their daughter to go out with.
What did your daddy think of it?
I'm not going to say, no way.
I said, next time that hippie comes around, make sure he's clean shaven and has some decent clothes on.
When I first saw him, I just thought, it just kind of came like, I'll end up marrying him. It was just a weird feeling, you know, because it wasn't a feeling. It was just kind of like a voice or something. I don't hear voices, but, and I just thought, well, I wouldn't, and I didn't even know if he'd ever even ask me out. And I even thought I wouldn't even go if he did.
Despite Carol's father, Mike began to go out with Carol, and one night in church, his life began to turn around.
I'm down praying, And I look over and I see this girl that was praying. She was crying. She really had a bad problem, you know. And she was crying, you know, just tears just flowing. And I started crying, and it was for her, you know. And boy, it felt good. And that's when God, you know, like, you know, I started feeling for someone else. And I knew that's what it is. That's what it's all about, you know.
So now you see a different Mike, one who's written a gospel song about his life.
Now he's the king of my food room.
He has his strength back. He can now do the one-armed push-ups he used to win bets with. And he has his own recreation centers where young people can shoot pool, no gambling or drinking allowed. And he did marry Carol Henry. They have a daughter, Anna, who's learning to shoot pool herself.
I've got a peace at times that I never had before. Bad things that happen, I can take it now, you know. And, you know, I'm thankful that I'm out of that hell that I was in, you know, that I thought I was going to be in for all my life, you know.
Bob, you want to try it?
Yeah, let me see if I can do it. Okay, let's try it, just like that. All right. Nothing to it. Since we did that story with Mike, he placed second in the National 8-Ball Championship. He appeared in the movie The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia, and he and his wife, Carol, have a son, David. Stay with us. Debbie will be back in a moment with the PM departments.